Hey, it's D. It's a brand new episode coming right for you, right on the FTO network. Enjoy. All right, okay. Today is the day. Let's get this going. I'm your host, D. This is FTO Podcast. We got a brand new episode. It's a fun time. A lot of stuff been going on this week. If you are a first-time listener, welcome. We did an interview this week with Rose. Rose is a cool person. She's working pretty hard, making new films, working many jobs, got many hats. Make sure you check out the podcast with her and I. It is on the feed. Anton brought Darren Simmons Jr. onto the show from Rusty Rupees to talk about video games, because I wasn't there. It was a rough go. I was busy. You guys know I'm moving. So a lot of moving, a lot of transitioning, a lot of stuff happening. We got a big show today. It's average. I'm overselling it, but it's an average show. I got most of my news this time from the Nerdy Basement. I know I talk about those guys a lot. Talk about a lot of different shows very often. You're going to hear like some promos from some other shows as you're listening to this episode. But I got news from Nerdy Basement. They got a lot of cool stuff this week. It's updated pretty well, actually. If you haven't had a chance, check them out on Twitter and Instagram. They put out like tons of videos, tons of interviews. They do a lot of news coverage. So make sure you check them out. Make sure you leave them some love and just see what they got going on out there. First up, we got film news. Frozen 3, Toy Story 5, and Zootopia 2 officially announced by Disney during their investor call. Now, if you guys have been paying attention, you know that Bob Iger is back in the driver's seat as the CEO of Disney. And I just heard on NPR that Disney Plus ain't doing that good. Oh no. Also, if you're new to the show, I'm not the biggest fan of Disney, but I respect their hustle. They're trying to be more diverse. They put more people of color out there. Like Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is a part of Disney, has like it broke some record. You got like the most diverse cast and crews within inside their organization and studios. So you know what? I respect the hustle. That LGBTQ situation that happened in Florida and Disney being a part of it, like they fixed their problem with that. You know what I mean? So there you go. I wish them well. I can't believe I'm saying that about Disney, but yeah, Frozen 3, Toy Story 5, and Zootopia. Good news with the bad news. A lot of changing happening. Disney Plus not doing so well. May have to get some fired up hustle over there, but you know, you got new movies coming out. So there's that. Next up, I feel like I went on a little bit long with that one there, but Fantastic Four director Matt Shakman confirms that filming commences. This is from the Wrap. This is their source. In early 2024, who says that word commence? It's commenced soon. I'm like, it's odd. Anyways, Fantastic Four is coming. This isn't big news in my eyes. Like, I feel like with James Gunn doing what he did, it kind of pushed the Fantastic Four to the floor, man. A lot of you may disagree with me about this, but I feel like me hearing about the first family ain't as cool as what James Gunn just talked about with DC. And like, as you know, I'm not the biggest James Gunn fan. And I think DC has been slacking hardcore. And they surprised me with this announcement. Like the film they got coming out, the source material that they're literally telling the fans, hey, this is where we're getting this information from. They got me. They got me. Like they said the right things to me. If they were politicians, they would have my vote. And Marvel, as again, not the biggest fan of Marvel, but like I've been respecting their hustle. Like this Kang the Conqueror and Ant-Man. Putting him in Ant-Man, I thought was a joke. But then I think to myself, like, you know what? Who better to introduce him than by like one of their C-D-list superheroes and like just letting Jonathan Majors run wild. And that's what they're about to do. Good idea. So I got to watch that movie in theaters. I may not be watching Fantastic Four when it comes out with Matt Shakman. He's done like a lot of TV shows, mostly on ABC. So like just about any show you can think about on ABC, he's been a part of it. Or Hulu for that matter. So like, yeah, I looked up his credits today. They're 1-2 episode stuff here and there, like some shows that you may know about, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Next up, Amazon taps Phoebe Waller-Bridge to pen script for live-action Tomb Raider series, feature film, and new video game developed. All three projects will be interconnected. This is from Vanity Fair. This is I heard about this recently, that all the Tomb Raider games are going to get writer from Phoebe from Fleabag. I think the Geek Freak podcast talked about this, yeah. And this is cool. Like, getting Phoebe to do this, like, she has a very raunchy style of writing. And Tomb Raider needs that very strong, like, white woman voice. Like, she needs that. But she's also aristocrat. So we gotta put that in there, too. And I think, like, Phoebe Waller-Bridge is probably the best voice right now to put that out there into a character like this. So I feel like this is a good call. Like, I really do. Amazon, good call on Amazon. I wouldn't have thought of it, even though, like, I know, like, Phoebe's in-house. So, like, you know, she got these awards also, like, tacked on top of it. I still wouldn't have put that together. But that's a good call on their part. Next up, you got HBO officially renews Last of Us for a second season. Good on them. Right? I mean, come on. We knew that was going to happen. It's like one of the top rated shows right now in February of all time. Like, come on. We knew that this was going to happen. Good on him, though. Like, season 2, we got, like, a lot more of this to look forward to and more money to be poured into it. Like, so not only do we have, like, House of the Dragon, they also got Last of Us to keep our attention all year round. This is why Disney Plus is slipping, because they don't have our attention all year round. Just like a certain block at a time, which is the summer when kids are out of school. And then you got to say, hey, MCU's not for kids. I beg to differ. Next up, Netflix released first poster and release window for their live-action One Piece series. This is written from Netflix. Netflix wrote this? Guys, come on. Get better headline writers. That wasn't good at all. But this is for the One Piece series, the live-action one. I'm apprehensive because I never watched the One Piece anime. Oh, no. Yeah, I never watched it. It's fine. I don't just stop gasping. This is not a gasp situation. You don't need to gasp. There's a lot of animes that are very popular that I have not watched because when I was growing up and they were coming out, they were always talked about like as the anime to watch. And as you hear from now, about X amount of years later, people still hype things up too much and it takes you right out of it. So yeah, I mean, good for One Piece. It has their legions of fans. It's one of the top 3. But will I check it out? Probably. I probably won't watch it like the first week like everyone else does though. I'll probably wait till a week. Make it a second week after and watch it. Because that hype train be something else. You know what I mean? And that is it for news of the week. That did not go as long as it usually does. But I felt like I was all over the place with it. You may have to turn your volume down for this one. We'll see what happens. But we're going to take a little break. Do a little ad. And we'll be right back.
You're listening to FTO Nerd Talk. Excellent choice. If you're looking for more nerdy content, consider giving my idiot co-host and I a chance. We are 2 idiots and a dog, and we talk about movies, comic books, and general pop culture and entertainment media nonsense. Give us a listen on Good Pods, Anchor, iTunes, or your podcatcher of choice. You can also find us at podpage.com/TIAAD media, or you can always find us on Twitter and we'll bribe you with dog pictures too.
All right, I just listened to their most recent episode, 2 Idiots and a Dog. It was a good episode. Like they talked about Star Wars and why the prequels and the new sequels are not up to par with the originals. Not even so much like why they aren't up to par, but like why, as films by themselves, they're not as incredible as they could have been. And I feel like that was a better take as opposed to talking and comparing them to episodes 4, 5, and 6. Which is what most people do. They put them on their own merit and compare them to each other, and that was very interesting to hear. It was a very interesting take. It was like it wasn't like one of those toxic conversations. It was like I really had so much hopes and value for these films, but they didn't turn out the way that I wanted them to, and it was very, very seldom listening to that. So make sure you check those guys out. This is one of the cool part of the show. Things to check out. A lot of stuff to check out. Forewarning. I have not seen any of the trailers for most of the things I'm going to be talking about. I apologize. Usually I try to watch some of them, get like maybe find an advert somewhere. Didn't happen this time, so I apologize for that. First up is Sharper. It comes out for February 10th. It's from A24 Productions. It's a movie. A con artist takes on Manhattan's billionaire in a drama that unfolds within the secrets of New York City, from the penthouse of the Fifth Avenue to shadowy corners of Queens. Motivations are suspect and expectations turn upside down when nothing is as it seems. This is rated R. It stars Benjamin Corin, Brianna Middleton, Darren Golston. Not familiar with these actors at all, but A24 is interesting company. It's rated R. It's on Apple. So there you go, Sharper. Next up, Bill Russell, Legend, Season 1. Came out February 8th. The synopsis reads, narrated by Corey Stoll and Jeffrey Wright, the 2-part documentary from Sean Portland includes the last interview with Boston Celtics Bill Russell before he passed away in 2022. A personal archival material. This is a sports movie miniseries documentary. It's on Netflix, and it's out now. Next up is Chunk on Earth, Season 1. It came out January 31st, 2023. It's on BBC Two. Fulminia Chunk, played by Diane Morgan, hosts a series of documentaries about human development in this British mockuseries created by Black Mirror's Charlie Booker. Now, you may have seen this floating around on TikTok and Instagram every once in a while, like this oddly British woman asking very outlandish questions. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, because like it's pretty obvious, like to know what I mean. But there's a series on it now. It's like, it was a thing that was out before, but now it's in the States on Netflix and BBC Two. Yeah, there you go. It's a comedy documentary is what it's categorized as. Next up, video game Hi-Fi Rush on Xbox X and the PC. This is from Bethesda Studios, and the developer is Tango Gameworks. Feel the beat as wannabe rock star Chai and his ragtag team fight against an evil megacorporation with ruckus rhythm combat. From Tango Gameworks come Hi-Fi Rush, an all-new action game where the world sinks into the music. Yeah! That's how it read. My wife used to do a lot of writing. She was a lawyer. I feel like I'm telling too much information, but she once upon a time she was a lawyer, and she tells me secrets about writing, like things like I feel like I should know but didn't know. She says when you write something out, always say it back so you can hear what it sounds like, because sometimes like something that's in your head does not sound the same when it's on paper. And that's how that read. I read like a person like knew what they wrote, read it again out loud, and like this is gonna be super fun. Everyone's gonna love this headline, and they're gonna have fun with it. Yeah. But this is Hi-Fi Rush. All the podcasts I've listened to have been talking about this game a lot. It says very fun, very interactive. So check it out. Next up is Full Time. February 3rd is when this came out. The synopsis is long. Reads as follows. Julie, played by Lauren Callum, can't catch a break. For a single mother raising 2 children in the suburbs of Paris, but working in the city, the commuter train is a lifeline and has suddenly been severed due to the latest transit strike. Without the train, Julie can't get to her job as the head maid at a 5-star hotel, or to the interview for a better job she has lined up. Out of desperation, Julie takes a neighbor and her own gusty resourcefulness to get to work and barely make it back in time to pick up her kids before bedtime. Worse yet, it's only Monday. Julie is at her breaking point and soon finds herself bending the rules to stay afloat in a ruthless society as her responsibilities pile up. Wow, I can relate heavily to that fucking story. My God. This is not rated. That's your curse of the show, but it's your whole swear of the show right there. It's a drama. It's from Canal Plus. It's a French film. Whew. Wow. That was a lot. That hit me. And that is your things to check out. That is your things to check out. I feel like I should take another break. I feel like I'm a little tired. Myself getting a little winded. How many minutes are we into? We're in 14 minutes. Is it okay to take a break? Can I do that on this show? You know what? I want you guys to hear about Nemo. So I'm going to take a break and we'll be right back.
What's going on, guys? My name is Nemo, and you probably know me as Who is Nemo on TikTok. And I just want to take some time out today to talk about a very special podcast. Now, that podcast is FTO Nerd Talks. Now, FTO is a podcast that gives you daily updates on all things pop culture. So if you're into anime, manga, comic books, TV shows, movies, and all that good stuff, FTO is the podcast for you. Now, I know what you're all thinking. There are so many podcasts out there that already do the same thing, and I'm about to tell you why FTO is so special. Now, FTO is so special because they emphasize on Black nerd culture. Not only that, If you like to be interactive with your favorite content creators, FTO is the special podcast for you. Now, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or you just want to state your opinion about a certain project, they will engage with you. So if you haven't already, please go follow FTO Nerd Talks on all social media platforms. And if you haven't already, please do me a favor, follow them on Apple Music and Spotify so you don't miss out on their weekly podcasts. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day.
All right. I got called out by Anton a while back. I'm not sure if I told you guys about this, but Anton6 called me. I was like, hey, man, I listened to one of your podcasts. And, like, do you have an ad advertising your show on your shows? Like, you bet your ass I do. How are people know what they're listening to if they don't have an ad telling them what they're listening to? Like, come on. Get with it, Anton. He didn't laugh at that joke, but I did. So I'm still laughing at it. But, yeah, that's... I wasn't going to laugh that hard at that. I'm enjoying myself today. This is it's a pretty decent day. Like, the mood has been rough, but I'm trying to work myself into a groove. I got to switch off my wife and drive the kids. It feels very suburban right now. That's how I feel. But this is, like, the part of the show that I love the most, which is the comic books to check out. If you guys, like, decided to fall off by now, like, I get it. I feel it. You know, like, I listen to this guy talk a lot. This is new. He has a lot of energy. Needs to dial it back a little bit. It's whatever. Not every episode is like this, to be honest with you. Some episodes, like, I'm like, all right, let's get over with this show. I'm done with this because I'm tired. I just worked 3 shifts. The kids been bothering me. Like, sometimes it's like that. So, and sometimes it's not on a Thursday. Sometimes you get an episode on a Sunday. I feel like I don't talk about, for new folks who show up, about the show and the process and how things work here. So that's why I'm laying all this out for you guys, because I don't do this, like, very often. Like, it's remind people what they're listening to, or that there's a person besides just a person, like, just being on and being on the podcast. I don't do that enough. But got hit up by one of my cosplayer friends. They said to me, like, are you still going to BlurCon? And I am going to BlurCon. Like, in my head, you're going to BlurCon. But in process, I haven't got anything set up for BlurCon. Like, I haven't got a hotel room. I haven't got my ticket. I haven't been, like, pressing the flesh with individuals. It's in July, so it's creeping up. Not, like, soon, but, like, you know, soon enough that, like, when it gets to that point, all the hotels will probably be taken up. So if I have my reservation now, it may be a better option for me. I haven't done any of that. I need to work on that. So, yeah. I'm going to BlurCon. I need to go to BlurCon. I know I said, like, some disparaging things about BlurCon, but I should probably, you know, course correct that and fix that problem. If you're still listening and you know what I'm talking about. Jeez. I need to fix my BlurCon debacle. Let's put it that way. Like, I said some things about BlurCon I probably shouldn't have said about BlurCon, and I'm not going to apologize for the things that I said, but, like, I'm acknowledging that I said some things about BlurCon that I probably shouldn't have said about BlurCon. And, like, what I said, like, is the problem. But, you know, it wasn't, like, hateful, mind you. It was just unprofessional. Let's put it that way. It's more unprofessional than anything else. And, like, unprofessional light. I think that's a good way to put it. Yeah. All right, on with the show. This is comics to read. If you read comic books, there's comic books out there. If you know someone who's an indie comic book person and, like, you want their comic book to be talked about on the show, send me some information at flippingtablesover with an S, flippingtablesover@gmail.com. I'll probably put it in the show notes, but I probably won't. If you want to find my email, go to my Instagram. Like, it's right on my profile. I know, like, you probably think, why are you laughing at that? Don't worry about it. Anyways, Batman issue number 132. The Batman of Gotham, part 2. The Toy Box, part 2. God, I love these banners for comic books. The main streets of Gotham City has gotten meaner as the likes of Harvey Dent and Killer Croc roam free, brutalizing the population. Where is Batman? And why hasn't he responded to the cries of a city in peril? Can Bruce Wayne find the answers before the mysterious Red Mask captures him? And in the backup story, Tim Drake hunts for Batman continues. Will Metropolis' new Superman, John Kent, be able to help the boy wonder with this multiversal mystery? Or will they both run afoul of a new overpowered Toyman? What? I don't know why I read it like that, but I read it like that. So you're going to have to deal with it. I'm really feeling myself today. Writer Chip Zdarsky and penciler Matt Hawthorne. Artist Miguel Medonca and inker Arino de Benito. I know that's not professional, be like misspelling or mispronouncing these names, but this is the first time I'm hearing them, so you bear with me. Next up, Daredevil, issue number 8, The Red Fist Saga, Part 8, At Last, War, Legacy issue, 656. I'm not kidding you. That is the only synopsis for this comic is At Last, Epilus, War, exclamation point. I'm dead serious. That is it. At Last, War. It's a cool cover. It looks like it's Daredevil with a spear, and a shield fighting against a katana-wielding Punisher. Yeah. It was like a multiverse thing going on. But whatever. It's continuity. Right, there's also Chip Zdarsky and Marco Checchetto. Love me some Marco Checchetto. One of the best artists in the game right now. I literally want to go to a comic book shop, pick up this comic, take a video of me holding it, and post that shit on every one of my platforms. Simply because of Marco Checchetto. I love this man's work. And like, I'm a big Ed Benes fan. I'm a big Jim Lee fan. If you can't tell, I got to type with my art, except for Ed McGuinness. Like, that throws a curveball to people. You shouldn't look up Ed McGuinness unless like you love comic books, because like his comic book art style is very cartoony in a very superhero way. But Checchetto steals my heart. He's one of my favorite new artists right now. So, Daredevil number 8. Something to check out. Gotham City, Year 1, issue number 5. Chapter 5, Beaten, Bruised, and Betrayed. Slam Bradley should have never gotten involved in the Waynes. With a tragic turn of events and a city on the edge of burning, can this hard-boiled private detective close an impossible case? No way. We get to see the case of the detective who tried to fucking solve the Wayne's murder. No way. Are you kidding me? Out of all the times that I've been like involved in a Batman story, I have not read that story. Well, and like, check out the writer to this motherfucker here, Tom motherfucking King. You get another swear in the show. There you go. Now I gotta make this like explicit. Is FTO becoming not suitable for work? God, I think they are. Anyways, the penciler is Phil Hester, cover art, and the ink is Eric Gapstewart. This is not a usual way I know about the show, just so everyone know. I'm putting on a show for you guys, so make them laugh. Image Comics, Little Monsters, issue number 10. In a heart-wrenching flashback issue, the pain of Rami's biggest secret is revealed, and the burden they have been carrying for over 100 years will most certainly rip their friendship apart forever. Issue number 1 is by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. Howler, issue number 1. Howler. I got 3 minutes before my phone cuts off completely, so I should probably heard this up. There's nothing to fear of the quaint town of Harrow, New York, except that it's for the Howler. The children wish this boogeyman was just an urban legend, but this persever are of practitional vengeance against the unrighteous is very real, and there is no escape because the Howler seems unkillable and spawn generations of always returning. What secrets will Alice Young, a teenage girl obsessed with the Howler, uncover, and will she be able to escape the pull of her morbid fixation? This deconstruction of the slasher genre is a fresh and terrifying grounded take. It's perfect for fans of Bone Orchard and The Closet. It's from Justin Jordan and Barim Ravel. Now, I got to do this quickly and smoothly, which is turn off my alarm. There we go. Completely forgot that I had that on. That was your last comic book of the show. And in about 2 minutes, I would have been beeped out because my alarm would have go off and just overwrites my my system here, don't worry about it. don't worry about it. I'll explain what I mean by that on a different episode. But FTO is going strong. I just posted the games of the month coming up pretty soon first on Instagram, and I'll put it everywhere else so you guys can see it. I just posted anime of the last week. So we got last week's anime. I'm going to post this week's hopefully soon. Fingers crossed. I got a wrap-up show with Alicia Bayer, Valkyrie. She's on Instagram. She's a big fan of the show Vox Machina. Big fan. She watches like the table game on YouTube. She watched that a while back, and she big fan of the show. I watched the first season. She asked me to keep watching it, even though I didn't really want to watch it, and I did like it. It was good. And new season's here, and she talked me into watching it again, and we're gonna do a podcast together. So that's gonna happen. Anton Six and I, we still got table trees going. I know it's a little bit delay, and my move has been complicating things. I get that, but we're also gonna do a recap of the entire season of The Last of Us. We tried to do the individual episodes, but again, my schedule, me moving, it didn't happen. So we're going to do a recap. Got to take some notes as we watch these episodes. I'm still episode 3. Haven't watched episode 4. And 5 comes out Friday because of the Super Bowl. So, jeez. Busy. You still got these weekly podcasts. I'm putting out more news as much as I can. It's hard. It's February. There's not much nerdy entertainment news that I feel needs to be in the sphere of everyone. And cosplayers and content creators aren't really doing much right now because again, it's February. So, it's whatever, pretty much. So bear with me. Things will change. Hopefully by September, things are different. Things are growing. I'm trying to treat FTO more like a business than less of a hobby. But I feel like I was treating it like it was thought I was treating it like a business, but I was actually treating it like it was a hobby. And I need to fix that and treat it more like it's a business, because that's what it is, and I give it the attention and respect it deserves, instead of treating it like it's a hobby, where I can just jump in and out of it whenever I please. So, it's not easy, but it's a transition, but that's the point of a business. It's to learn and grow and be a part of it. So, that's the whole point of doing all this stuff and being human in the first place. Existential conversation for a different day, but that's what I mean by it. There's not much to really talk about this week. I have been a little bit stressed, a little bit tired. I wouldn't say the imposter syndrome has been kicking in, but definitely the fitting in certain spaces has been taking a toll, if I can say that. And it's been rough adjusting myself to the different spots and spaces I've been inside of, trying to get a better grip on who I am and my response to certain actions or inactions that I take offense to. I am sensitive, but and what I mean by this, I take things a little bit closer to heart, a little bit more harsh than say the typical individual, and I get rubbed wrong easily. People say I don't get offended that easily. I get offended pretty easily. So, and I'm a big guy, and I can throw my weight around if I need to. So, there you go. And I'm not afraid to fight somebody. That's another thing. I'm not afraid to fight somebody, because I will fight you if I need to. So, don't want to, but it will come to that if it has to. So, I worship superheroes since I was 12 years old, and my superheroes were stoic when I was younger. Now they're more existential, neurotic, more so than when I was a kid. Let's put it that way. I don't mean that as an offense to the archetype of superheroes now, Kamala Khan, Miles Morales, Jessica Cruz, Simon Bass. I don't mean like offense to those characters in their archetype. What I mean by that is they're more focused on their neuroses and focused on making themselves better, as opposed to the hero of my era, which is the late 80s, early 90s, and 2000s, where it was all about, I have to be a certain way, but I gotta try to keep doing what I'm doing while telling myself I have to be this way. Today's superheroes let their feelings and emotion come in, and it can sometimes take over them. And I get that that other superheroes of different eras did the same thing as well, but I feel now it's more of a it's more, it's a character in the story, the mental illnesses, as opposed to it wasn't being that. It was more like a plot device back then. And it's a hard read sometimes to read like that. Like, I'm not sure if it's because I don't relate as much or because I do relate to it, but it just comes off as trite. So, yeah. Not to say that new comic books aren't good, because, like, they're not bad. They're fairly decent. Some of them are good. I feel like I get less and less great ones from the big two. Mostly, like, the sensation comes from the indies places, which is always good, but I love continuity. And I feel like I don't say that enough. I love continuity. Like, continuity is my bread and butter. And I think I got the title of the show. I love continuity. And continuity is good. Continuity is like, is familiar. I've always had like this thing about superheroes and comic books, and I always said, if you want a good story, and like you see this, I know most of you do, get a story that is public domain. Get a character that is public domain. Put that character in your story. Make that character a plot device to your characters. Write your characters around like an already established character throughout histories. You know their history. You know their quirks. You know their mannerisms. Use that. Write the characters that you already have in your head around that character. So let's say Sherlock Holmes. A little bit eccentric character. But like you say, if you make Sherlock Holmes an amputee. Like, he's disabled now. But he's still, like, around for phone calls. He's in your ear helping you solve crimes. And you use the characters around you as a template around that character. Like, well, Sherlock Holmes, like, telling me to do all this, but I still got my own personality. Or, fuck Sherlock Holmes. I'm telling what the hell to do. You know what I mean? So, it's an interesting story. Just putting it out there. But, I know a lot of folks they want to create their own original stories and do all that. I get that. And like, be on their own merit, not like on someone else's character story. I get that too. But, it's hard making money nowadays. It just is. And and my grandmother said something to me a while back talking about my uncle. She said to me that I tried telling your uncle to go to architect school. Like, he got accepted to this architect school. He didn't go to it because he didn't want to do the art that they wanted him to do. He didn't want to learn like the fundamentals they wanted to teach him. And she and I said the same thing. Like you don't have to do what the hell they told you to do when it comes to learning all that. Like, you don't have to do that. You just learn it to put some money in your pocket. And like in a capitalist society, I feel like if we can control that duality, like of not wanting to do something but being able to do something, we would be able to make a foundation for ourselves and then overthrow the capitalist society at the same time. Like, we would just use capitalism to our means and then like eat the rich. And that'd be done. There you go. This is a part of the normal show. If you guys are still listening to this, this is normal. This is like full-on normal FTO content. Just putting it out there. Usually I haven't had like most opportunities to go on like this because I'm so tired. I'm just trying to bust out an episode. Phrasing. I said that weird. Yeah, I'm an Archer fan. But yeah, God, I need to go back and watch Archer. I haven't rewatched Archer in so long. Phrasing. Goodness, yes. I think I'm going to go watch some Archer. I've been trying to get back into Star Trek, but most of you know Futurama is a good analog for what the society of Star Trek is like when the Federation is gone. When the Federation isn't really like on Earth, Futurama is that analog of what Earth is like when the Federation is just off in space doing whatever. And I feel like Archer is a good time jumping type of show that gives you like a not so sure when this is, but like it definitely has like a very intelligent feel to it, as if like it is being patrolled by like some kind of intergalactic space, blah blah blah, and like the society of people are doing moderately well. So that's a good escapist show. A good show to escape into is Archer. I feel like I just said all that just to say it's a good escapism. Weird. Anyways, I think that's a show. I think I'm done. I think I need to go take a nap before I gotta drop my kids. This is the FTO Nerd Talk. Make sure you check out Table Cheese whenever it comes out, usually on Sundays or Saturdays when Table Cheese comes out. It's a gaming podcast. You love your games. You love listening to gaming stuff on the AM on the weekends. There you go, man. There you go. Check out the show you listen to right now on Wednesdays or Thursdays. always a fun time. I'm trying to do more interviews. They're probably going to drop on Tuesdays. So there you go. Got interviews, got table cheese. Got this. You got TikTok videos. You got Instagram posts. You get like the coolest story on Instagram, FTO NERD TALK. Check out that story. I post cool stuff inside my story. Post some pretty gut-wrenching stuff in my stories too, so beware. And TikTok, where I repost a lot of cool stuff you guys can check out. A lot of cool videos, like all like the coolest videos. Like all the stuff you guys see on Instagram, I post it first. I'm gonna stop being so coy about it. Like I'm on top of it. Someone called me the content king. I think LaRocoy called me that. She called me the content king. I'm gonna wear that hat, that crown with honor. Thank you. So this is the show. I love continuity. I just do. Until next time, you guys take it easy. Hey guys, D here of FTO NERD TALK. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends about FTO NERD TALK. Got a lot of different shows for all of you. Make sure you tune in every week for a brand new episode. Take it easy.